I'm going to be a PTA, and I'm going to be working on your hamstring muscles. So what this muscle does is it begins at the base of your pelvis, right at the bottom, right where you sit, and it comes all the way down the back of your leg, right below your knee to the top of your shin bones. So what this muscle does is that it bends your knee up behind you, your heel coming towards your bottom, as well as it brings your leg back behind you, your full leg back behind you. So I understand you are into sports, and a lot of time you're starting and stopping really quickly, and you have a hamstring strain. So this is due to overuse of the muscle. A lot of times it can happen more than once. So we're going to work on a couple of strengthening exercises as well as one stretching exercise. So the first one I want you to do is going to be on your stomach. So again, this muscle starts right here at the base of the pelvis, moves down to the top of the shin bones in your lower leg. It helps to bend the knee, and it helps to bring your entire leg up towards the ceiling. Perfect. All right, so this first one, we're gonna work on that bending the knee quality. I'm gonna attach a weight down here to the bottom of your leg, add a little bit more resistance. Good. So from here, you're gonna bring your heel towards your bottom, and then nice and slow, back down towards the table. Good. While you're doing that, nice and slow, feel that hamstring working. Good. Again, it's contracting. At the bottom, you can feel it relax, contracting to bring that heel towards your bottom, and then back down. Perfect. The next exercise, I'm going to have you standing. You're going to be on one leg on this side of the table. So, okay, you can be on your right foot. You can have your hand on the table for stability. Your left leg is going to come behind you. You're going to be keeping your hips flat, slight bend in the knee, accessing that hamstring muscle, coming down like you're touching your toe, and then nice and controlled back up. So good. Yep, keeping those hips level. Good. Engaging that hamstring to bring you back up. Good. And repeat that. Slight bend in the knee. Good. And back up. A couple more there. Coming down towards the ground. And back up. One more. Keeping those hips level. Perfect. Now for our stretch, I'm going to grab a chair. So go ahead and you're going to stick your heel on the chair. Knee's going to stay straight, and you're just going to lean your body, nice tall trunk forward towards your toe. You should feel a stretch going down the back of your leg. Good. Nice straight knee, nice tall trunk, coming forward towards your toe. You should feel a stretch in the back of your leg. Good. Hold that for about 8 seconds. And then relax. Perfect.
Hi, my name is Kevin Suarez, and I'm going to be your physical therapist assistant today. Okay. I hear that you're having some issues rotating your foot outward, or your toes coming outward. Okay. And I can see that you're an active person. So just to give you a little bit more of an idea of what's going on in your foot, and we'll go through some of the muscles that are also part of that action. So this group that's called the evaders, what they're responsible for is moving your foot outward and moving your foot downward. Your toes pointed down. Yep. And so with that, evaders is just medical term for moving your foot away.
Okay.
Or moving away. So one thing, we're going to talk about two muscles today. There are some others. One being the extensor digitorum longus, which helps, but it's not the main focus. So today we're going to talk about the fibularis longus, and we're going to talk about the fibularis brevis. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to give you a little depiction using my bone here of where we're at, and we can work off of you as well. So we're going to look at the fibularis longus first. So the fibularis longus will run first, well, its first attachment will be on the fibular head. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So right there, yep. And it also has this upper portion of the fibula. So, simple terms, it's on the top of your leg,
Okay.
top outside of your leg. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to run all the way down that leg and hook right behind the ankle and come right underneath. And it's going to grab onto the inside portion of your foot.
Okay.
And that attachment point is the base of the metatarsal, first metatarsal,
Mm-hmm.
and the cuneiform. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now that one is more outward
Mm-hmm.
in your skin, so it's more away.
Mhm.
There's one underneath it that starts right about the lower half,
Okay.
and that's called the fibularis brevis. Okay, so just underneath here, there is the fibularis brevis, and it attaches here on the lower half, same way as the longus. They'll run down right behind the ankle, and it's actually going to grab onto the outside of your foot. Okay, and that's going to be at the tuberosity of the fifth metatarsal. So now that you have both sides covered, it will pull away on both ends, making sure that you can rotate your foot.
Okay.
All right. So some common things that happen when you get injuries with this area, things like athletes or even even people doing daily activities could roll their foot, what's called rolling your foot, or turning it over without wanting to,
Okay.
or involuntarily. And so we call that an ankle sprain. And what that means is, use this as an example, is that this muscle is meant to be tight, and it's going to contract or get smaller.
Okay.
And what it does is it pulls it long and stretches it out. So what's keeping it there is not. What's keeping it there is not. It's become elastic or stretched out more than we want it to.
Okay.
So what we want to focus on is making this muscle tighter because it's been lengthened.
Okay.
All right. And so we're going to take on two stretches, and we're going to work on the stretch afterwards.
Okay.
So make sure that we don't tighten up. Okay. So the first strengthening exercise we're going to do is, if I can have your foot out. Yep. And I'm going to put this around your foot.
Okay.
Okay. And if I can have your other foot out here, we're going to use this as a pivot point. So you can use this to
Okay.
pull and keep tension right here on
All right.
this. So this band is meant to give you restriction. What we're going to do is move this foot outward just enough to where you feel tension,
Mm-hmm.
and come back controlled. Okay. Yep. And if you feel like you're getting rotation out on the leg, you can hold on to it. Make sure that you do just enough to where you're getting only foot action.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
So we'll stop there,
Okay.
and we'll do this about 10 times for about 2 to 3 reps.
Okay.
All right. So the next thing that we're going to do, if I can have you off the table,
Sure.
and I'm going to bring this step over. And so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to work on our evaders by stepping up to the on the board, and this is called step up. Stepping up to the board, and even though this focuses on a lot of other groups, we're going to focus solely on the portion which the evader pulls or shifts our weight from one side to the other.
Okay.
And so we're gonna go start here, start in the back, and work shifting our weight and up.
Okay.
And control down.
Okay.
And up. And down. Okay, once you give that a shot. Perfect. And then, so we will stop there.
Okay.
And we'll do that about 10. We'll do that about 10 to 10 reps.
Mhm.
Or, yeah, 10 reps with 2 to 3 sets, depending on our strength and how we feel comfortable. If we can't do that, we will also do a pivot board. I don't have one today, but
Okay.
a pivot board is a flat board on a fulcrum or something above the ground that will keep the board tilting.
Okay.
And just kind of gives you the ability for your ankles to go back and forth
Okay.
and work those muscles out.
Sure.
Okay. So if you want to hop back up, and we're going to focus on one stretch today.
Okay.
And so that stretch is going to be, I'm going to have you place your foot right over your knee. Yep, opposite knee. And so I want you to hold on to your foot. The purpose of this stretch is we're going to work downwards. So you're going to try to make this muscle long,
Okay.
as long as possible. So that means we're going to stretch it downward because it hooks down.
Uh-huh.
And we want to pull up on it because we want this side
Okay.
further away from the muscle. So if you want to hold on, you can feel the stretch. Do you feel it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stretching every ankle.
All right. And if you feel like your hip is compensating,
Mm-hmm.
you can keep this side down,
Okay.
and that way it'll give you true stretch. Okay.
Good.
Sounds good. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.